All right, man, let's talk about Trajan Langdon. He pretty much spoke on a couple things. So let's start off with him speaking on young GOAT Jaden Ivey. Spoke on Ivy, Ron Hollins, and Malik Beasley. Also, I mean, the Pistons are well represented at Summer League. Let's see what he had to say. 1 second. All right, let's go.
Talk a little bit about him and Jaden Ivey, because to me, Ivey's a guy that in a lot of ways nobody's talking about, but he's got to be a big part. And obviously with what's transpired this offseason, his ability to handle the basketball, because in today's NBA, you need 2 or 3 guys that can make plays at all 3 levels. And I got to believe the expectation is that he is going to take on a bigger role this season.
Yeah, Greg, I think you make a great point. A lot of people talk about the losses of Malik, Tim, and obviously Dennis, 3 guys that were great for us last season. But J.I. was having an incredible season before he got hurt early January. His first 2 months of the season, he was fantastic on both sides of the floor. So he looks good out on the floor now. He is ready to go. We're doing vet workouts here, and he looks really good and the best that he's looked since coming off that injury. So we're excited to have him back. But like you said, he's going to be a big part of our team on both sides of the ball.
So you heard him, kind of, even keel when it comes to Jaden Ivey. I mean, he said he's going to be a big part of what they're doing, and I mean, a lot of people, like he said, talking about losing Malik. Now, for the most part, you get Ivy back. So, pretty much people are not talking about that enough. But he's right. He's playing very, very well. He is making some big shots for him, starting to put it all together. But yeah, somebody that you should be able to count on, when he comes, if he's healthy. And then he's also said that, he said that he's looked as good as he has looked since being back from injury. So he seems to be, progressing in the health department, right on point. So usually, for the most part, coming off an injury could, be a death wish. But, with the advancements in medicine and all that stuff today, I mean, it's a different ball game. So he continued to go on and speak about the good brother Ron Holland. Remember they said they drafted him and they didn't even work him out. So that's a crazy thing. But he said a lot of teams, didn't want their players to work out for the Pistons because they didn't want them in Detroit. So.
A guy you took with you from New Orleans, Fred Vinson, shooting coach extraordinaire, was reading the other day how he's really been in the gym with Ron Holland this summer. He has been ultra aggressive here today. I think many of us from the outside, first of all, we were surprised when he took him at 5. We didn't know that he would play 81 games as much as he did. But now it feels like there's like this next level that you guys are preparing for with him. What do you want to see from him, and what has Fred, specifically one of the great shooting coaches in our game, done with him?
The one thing that we liked about Ron when we took him is just the competitive nature, the work ethic, and that he is about basketball. Yeah. He wants to be the greatest player that he can be, and he puts the time and he puts the work in, and he's a great teammate. Everything that we thought he was going to be, he's been in this year that he's been with us. And you talk about time in the gym, focused, intentional work with Fred. You can see the difference in his shot, and it's because he's put the work in and he's really paid attention and he's wanted to learn and get better. So all the things that we thought about him have shown to be true about the basketball player and the person. So it's been great watching his development. But when we talk about this summer for him, it's come out and compete, get out here on the court and play to win games, make everybody else better, but play both ends of the floor and get out here and compete and try to win games. So.
And Trajan, talk a little bit, like sometimes the average fan doesn't understand, like people just look at actual talent, but when you're drafting and you've got your foundation, you're looking for fit. And in terms of what you guys want to surround Cade and Jaden with, why him at 5 was such a good fit for you in terms of what he brings to the table.
Yeah, I think I knew at the time I was going to hire JB, even though I hadn't done it yet when we picked Ron at 5. But I thought with the group that we have, he was going to be a great fit. Just size, versatility, being able to defend multiple positions. I felt in time he'd be able to be a secondary ball handler and make plays, whether it's off the glass or second side. But his ability to get to the rim, draw fouls. I thought he was a lot more unselfish than he got credit for when he was at Ignite, and I just felt that the human being and the competitor was going to be great for our group and for the city and for the fans.
All right, you heard what he said about it. You know, he's talking about character. He's talking about the person. He's talking about, you know, being able to play both sides and some of the things he did at Ignite that people overlooked, and he just seen it being a really good fit. So I think at 5, he really did, you know, take the best player available in his opinion, and I think he's done a great job. He played 81 games. So I feel like he should have got a little bit more experience in the playoffs, but you know, kind of just talking about that character of being a competitor and a hard worker. I think, you know, more and more now with these generations, with everybody being raised in this non-nuclear world, in this liberal world, I think a lot of these teams are really looking at character over. I think a lot of these teams are looking at character over, you know, talent at this point. I think you've seen that with with Ace Bailey, where a few teams said, you know what, we're going to go ahead and look at the character. We're going to overpass you because you're pretty trash with the character. And at the end of the day, I mean, can you blame them? So one last clip of him talking about the Malik Beasley and what he brought to the table, and you know what's going on with Dog, which he probably long gone anyway. It's a wrap on Dog.
This summer, I should say, the situation with Malik Beasley, it's got to be a challenge because you go into the offseason with an expectation of what the roster is going to look like, and him obviously being a part of it after such a great season. You're throwing a curveball, and explain to the folks how now you got all of a sudden go to plan. I don't even know if there was a plan B in that regard, but you had to kind of turn the tables quickly and figure out a way to add the depth that was necessary for you guys to stay a contender in that Eastern Conference.
Yeah, Malik had an incredible season, not only between the lines but in the locker room. He's one of our leaders, and he got our guys together and on and off the floor. He was amazing for us, and obviously a historic season shooting the ball and scoring. And give credit to my front office group and making sure that we have guys that if things fall through, you always have to have worst case scenario. We thought Malik would come back, but there's always a chance that you're not getting that guy. And unfortunately, there are different, reasons happen that were out of our control, but we were ready to pivot when that time came, and I thought we did a decent job given the difficult situation we were in.
All right, so you heard them. For the most part, they pivoted. So he gave credit to his front office about them having a plan B and whatever the situation was. So, I mean, shout out to them. So they had those plans. I think they was going to bring them back. And then in hindsight, you got people saying that they should have traded them at the trade deadline. And if we knew now, then I think obviously you would have traded them at the trade deadline. But it is what it is. Not everybody going to hit every pick the right way. So I hope people do understand that. So let me know what you girls and guys think, man. Check out Detroit Pistons Talk playlist. Thumbs up the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. And subscribe button is the bell icon button. Peace.